So to answer that particular question, we need to know exactly who will be up for the leadership at that moment.
Would you support current leadership if they're reelected?
So, I mean, in terms of if they're particularly reelected and if the majority is going with that particular leadership, I mean, I have to look in that particular decision to be what's being proposed, what's coming up, because we really don't know. What I will say is that in terms of me being a relationship manager, in terms of working with different people, different opinions, different priorities, I have had success, particularly with the South Providence Neighborhood Association and all the other organizations, with finding a way to get our priorities through, despite who may be in that particular office. We may have to go through an alternative route. We may have to look at different particular options in terms of working with people, but it really comes down to how effective are you going to be, and more importantly, in terms of who's in that particular office with the leadership, you know, whether it's the current speaker, whether it's House Majority Leader, whoever, in terms of getting what your priorities are for House District 9 passed. That will be my focus, despite or regardless who is in office, would be getting priorities for how District 9 move through.
Representative Williams.
It's really difficult to answer that question simply because of the fact that it's what their agenda is. Yours might be a priority, but they who holds the goal makes the rule. And in as much, for example, it's 17 years today that the world encountered the 9/11. It took 17 years for racial profiling to pass. And it passed so watered down that the situations are still occurring today. So in order for me to honestly answer the question, will I support the current leadership if they are reelected? It's really hard to say who is going to be reelected in that position.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it would depend on who is actually up. I'm not so presumptuous as to think this is a decision I have to make today. First, I want to win your vote. But this question gets at a really important issue, I think, and that's how our legislature is run. It is run top-down, and that is a problem. That is a problem for everyone in this room. That is a problem for how our government functions. And so what I am committed to doing as your state senator is democratizing our state legislature so that committee hearings are actually committee hearings and that bills actually have the ability to come up from the floor through the process instead of down from the top. I think that that is the most important thing. At this time in our history, when democracy is in such threat, we have to reorganize our institutions so that they serve all the people and not the people in power.
I'm going to actually answer this question. No, I will not vote for Dominic Rosario for President of the Senate. And let me tell you why. Number one, we really disagree on the issues. I am pro-choice. He's been endorsed by Right to Life. I support common sense gun safety reform, and he's taken endorsements from the NRA. I believe we need to repeal the tax cuts for the rich, and he is strongly against that on issue after issue. And we're talking about core issues. I disagree with him. And I don't think that it is right for me. I don't think it is honest for me, representing a very Democratic district, to go up there and vote for someone who does not share our democratic values. So no, I will not be voting for him.
Senator DeVore.
This is an excellent question. Thank you very much. I am not part of the leadership. Actually, I think I'm now a maverick in the Senate because I don't follow what the leadership tells people what to do. I follow what the people of this district ask me to do. I've always put people before politics. And there's a lot of politics up there. But you can be a very good senator if you know how to sort through it. And I've been able to do that. And how do you do it? I've knocked door to door in this district. And most people say, Senator Jabbour, I looked at your brochure. I like that section on ethics and transparency because you don't accept any money. And I said this earlier. If you take money from all the special interests and you're in with the leadership, then I'm sorry, you cannot do the will of this district. Now, ironically, Mr. Ordiello has the endorsement of all the labor unions and promoted all of that. That's one of the largest push at the State House. So I ask you, who do you think he will support come January if he's ever elected? And Mr. Bell
We're at
also
time.
has his special interest. What's that agenda? Who do you think?
We are at time.
Thank you.